is betting on private banks. Latha is here to tell us why. Latha?
Hi. Well, it ends up with a recommendation on private banks, 3 of them. But the argument is more interesting because of their worries over NPAs. The report is titled 50 Shades of NPA, primarily to tell investors that don't look for bad loans only at the GNPA number. Now they are disguised in several other buckets. Well, not quite 50, but at least in 5 other places. So 5% of the total loans of the banking system are gross NPLs. We know that. Then they are saying that there is something called strategic debt restructuring. Now, in a strategic debt restructuring case, the company can, the loans given to them can be converted into equity. So banks get more than 51% equity, they can look for a buyer. Now, they have 18 months to look for a buyer. So for those 18 months, you need not classify them as NPL. So they've gone bad. That is why you have converted their debt into equity, but you're not converting them into NPL because the law allows you to find a buyer for that in the interregnum. And that, they say, is about 0.4% of the total book. Then you have the 525 plan, which is somebody comes and says that my asset is 30 years, but my loan is only 8 years. Why don't you stretch it to a 25-year loan? And they stretch it to a 25-year loan. Now, why is he coming to you in the first place? In some cases, it is because he's not able to service his loan. Not all of them, but in some cases. Now, there, of course, the bankers have a difference of opinion. Credit Suisse says that the total number of refinanced loans in the system already known are 0.5% of the total loans. You can dispute that, but let us take Credit Suisse's number as 0.5%. Then you remember we have the old restructured loans. Now they are stopped because even if you restructure, you have to classify them as NPLs and provide. So nobody restructures. But that old pile is still left, and that is 6.5% of the total loans. So Credit Suisse just puts all that together and say now you have 5% GNPL, 0.4% strategic debt restructuring, 0.5% probably in the refinanced category. Restructured is the old one, 6.5%. And yeah, some loans you can sell to the ARCs, asset reconstruction companies, and whatever you have lost, because the ARCs won't buy it at the book value, they'll buy it cheaper, that loss can be amortized over 8 quarters. So that again is not immediately showing in the books. Putting all that together, the actual stress in the system is 13%. That's the report actually. They conclude by saying that they think 3 banks are, bereft of these kinds of problems. And so their picks are HDFC Bank, IndusInd Bank and Axis.
All right, Latha, thanks so much for joining and giving us all those details with regard to this bank.